Welcome to the Metals Investment Forum. It's my great pleasure to have Goliath, the company who's making a lot of news lately, coming to join us. Welcome, Roger.
Thanks, Chen. Thanks for having me, and always a pleasure to attend this conference and be a sponsor.
Well, great. Yeah, it's a great pleasure because you recently hit it out of the park. Explain that to us. And then you stop immediately. Actually, over the 2 or 3 day period, right? People just keep buying from the open market, and then the share just move up every day.
Yeah, no, obviously we're super excited about the whole. Stock was up, I think, up to 45% from the close on the Friday. We had the news on Monday, and that was all on, hole 260, which had a lot of abundant visible gold in it, and 39 meters over an ounce, so it was like a 1,300 and some odd gram meter hole. Within there's 10 meters of over 4 ounces,
Wow.
right? So obviously the bulk's in that that 10-meter intercept, but as I'm told by the miners when they're drilling these things, I think it's red like if they when they're looking at the panel, they hit 1 and 5, they're going to go just drift right into the whole system. So that 39 meters essentially were in the bonanza, obviously pinches and swells and so on, but ultimately what I'm told that miner would go and actually just drift right into that because we do have a coarse grain type of gold there, and it's pretty good reaction. Stock still trading really well. Within that news release, some people may have not seen as well as like hole 275 was, we had over an ounce, basically another 100 gram meter hole, which is awesome results. Yeah. But no one's really talking about that.
Because
anyways,
it was too good.
yeah. But anyways, we're very pleased with what's going on. We still have 89 holes.
89 holes.
89.
Let me repeat, 89 holes. Coming.
89, and then of 105, and of which majority of those holes actually have visible gold in them. So statistically, probability suggests that we should have clearly, gold should be in there. As far as the width and the grade, obviously we've got to wait for the truth machine to do its work, and hopefully we'll be able to get those results out in the coming weeks.
Yeah, I mean, first, I got the tip from my good friend Quentin Hennings, and he said, at that time he thinks you're going to be the big one. First they hit snow lines, and you guys could be the next snow line, but the May looks more and more like a next Great Bear. So tell us what you think. And he always put on his triangle there, and then with the thickness, you can physically see there's at least a few million ounce high grade gold.
Exactly. Well, many, based on the back of an envelope. Should mention I think Quentin was just on an interview a couple days ago, and he's actually compared the sherbet to the pogo mine, because they got layered like a layer cake, and then plus we have this intrusive related system now we're seeing in the dikes. But he actually compared it to pogo, which is produced over 4 million ounces, high grade, and in total they've got I think over 10 million ounces there. So that's kind of the key thing here is like, okay, if you do the math on just the sherbet and the bonanza averaging, let's say 5 to 6 meters, each zone load has a potential to carry between 28 to maybe 35 million tons of material. So in total, up to 70 and sort of 56 to 70 million tons potential. Let's say if it's averaging, let's say 5 to 6 grams gold equivalent. Like, let's do the math on that.
Right.
Density is 2.903. Yeah. There's a multi there. Well, basically, that outlines a tier 1 high grade gold discovery in the Golden Triangle. It's got great metallurgy. We got a 92.2% recovery. Half of that, 50%, is we get free gold from the gravity alone. So essentially, gold is falling out of the host rock. Actually, Quentin was the one that made us do the metallurgical testing early on, just to say, hey, it's great to have the discovery, but can we actually get the gold from the host rock? Which clearly, we get quite a bit of gold out of the host rock.
Yeah, excellent. It's just amazing. It's amazing. It seems like everything click.
Yeah, well, we've hit on every hole that we've drilled. So we've had a 100% hit rate in this zone. Again, it's over 1.8 square kilometers. To put that in perspective, I think it's like a third the size of the downtown core of Vancouver here. And it remains open. We don't know how big it is, Chen.
Yeah.
It just keeps on getting bigger and bigger every year. And then within that, we've got this, again, this intrusive related kind of mothership that we believe, Quinton believes, that is the possible feeder that, created the system that, pushed all this gold into these veins that we're seeing, all 10 veins like stacked again, like a layer cake type of thing.
Wow, it's amazing. It's just amazing. So what's your plan for this year?
Well, the plan for this year is we need to get obviously all our assays out. We're going to have to remodel the entire system and really focusing in on this mothership intrusive as well. We're getting that that 1,300 gram meter hole in that vein of the Bonanza. All these holes we're hitting plus or minus kind of 5 to 10 meters. That tells us it's robust, it's predictable, and we'll continue to follow up on those this area because again, most miners are looking for high grade, sort of 1 to 2 to 3 million ounces, but typically they call it a 1 million ounce high grade, let's say at a half an ounce, that they can go and mine immediately out of the gate to pay for the capex. One thing nice about the Bonanza, it actually does sit 200 meters above the valley floor, so you don't have to go down 500 meters or 1,000 meters. It actually outcrops its surface. So we think the payback would be very, very quick. It'd be very the AuEq would be very, very low based on the fact, again, we're getting a 92.2% recovery. 50% of that gold is free gold from the gravity alone. So kind of coming back to your question, we do want to put in sort of 100-meter spacings within that Bonanza shear, again, just to increase the confidence level in 2025. And then as well, we want to expand because we can see it on the north slope and south slope for a kilometer away. So we'll just continue to expand on Bonanza, stepping out to the north, northeast, south, southeast as well as the other zones as well, and at depth because for the first time this year we drilled below the volcanics, or pardon me, below the valley floor into the volcanics. We hit 4 brand new lenses that we didn't know existed.
Wow.
Guess what? There was visible gold.
Visible gold.
Same looking stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
So clearly there's a lot more going on here. I get people asking about a maiden resource. It's like, we don't know how big this thing is. So why the heck would we even contemplate putting out a maiden resource until we've kind of expanded, or we kind of were tapped out of hitting mineralization. But every year we drill, the bigger it gets.
Excellent. Wow, that sounds very, very exciting. What you have. Well, of course, people want to speculate how big it is, but you probably will continue to expand it, maybe get a better picture before you
For
do
sure.
it.
I mean that's the plan for sure, is to expand it as well, get some infill, increase the confidence level. So when we're in a position to put a maiden resource, we'd actually have those intercepts. And then I guess we should just touch on the capital raise. There's no raise contemplated for quite a while. Raised over like $23 million in 2024. We got a bulk of that going into 2025. And we have $9.5 million of warrants that are deep in the money right now. Average strike is 62 cents. They all expire in 2025. So we're basically an ATM with people exercising warrants. Most of them, like McEwen and Crescat Capital and so on, family offices are able just to write checks. They don't have to sell, to put pressure on the stock to get that money to exercise the warrants because they're all long-term holders.
Yeah, myself included.
Okay, I didn't want to. I was going to let you mention that, but yes, of course, you're included in that group as well.
Yeah, but excellent. That looks like something very, very exciting story. So some investor ask, why when the major will come in? Do you contemplate, for example, some like a strategic partnership, or you want to build it up a little bit more, or you want to go for the Great Bear route and then you build it up and then for auctions?
Well, I'm kind of thinking Great Bear might be a little on the low end of what they got taken out for, is my hope.
Okay.
So we'll just keep on drilling this thing. Eventually, whoever's going to come along will come along. We do have some CAs signed with a number of groups. I'm not suggesting anything's happening right now or will ever happen, but the mantra is we're just going to drill, and again, keep expanding, do some infill, increase confidence level, and who heck knows, maybe after all of our almost 100 holes to come here, maybe at that point there's something that happens. I don't know. I don't have the crystal ball, but
Right,
ultimately, we do know we had a lot of holes had visible gold in what's to come, and we should provide very good news flow for the next coming weeks, months leading up to PDAC.
All right, great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Looking forward to share those.
And then also, just a closing remarks is we can't forget about Treasure Island, which is a brand new discovery, VMS style discovery, high grade gold, copper, VMS style mineralization, similar to what SK Creek was, where all the samples we took in 2023 were at least 1 gram per ton gold equivalent, or at least 1% copper.
Wow.
So of that channel cut we took ran 28 grams per ton gold equivalent. Within that, we had 5% copper. Some of the copper numbers were as high as 14% in the samples that we took. And we drilled 12 holes, best hole from each pad. There was 4 pads. We have on average roughly 30 meters of mineralization. And then within that 30 meters, we have roughly 7 meters of massive to semi-massive looking material that looks exactly like the channel cut that we took that ran over 28 grams per ton gold equivalent with that 5% copper component. So clearly right now we're not getting any value for it, for that particular discovery, but obviously I know people want to wait to see assays, which is fine. So the plan there is we'll release all 12 of those together at the same time, just so we give some context to that discovery up at Treasure Island. So stay tuned.
Excellent. Stay tuned. A lot of news coming.
You got that right.